Okay, y'all. So I decided to go ahead and record Tuesday's video too, since I was in the mood to do this. And today is going to talk about cumulative loss. And when people hear me talk about cumulative loss, they assume that I mean losing my two sons back to back. And I do mean that. That's the whole center of it. Trey and Devin are the center of all my grief. But cumulative loss isn't just what you lose, it's what keeps getting taken while you're still trying to absorb the last thing. Um, when I lost Trey, I shut down completely. I stopped working, I stopped paying bills, I stopped caring about any of it. And not too long after that, I lost my home too. And I didn't even fight it. I barely packed anything, just some clothes and everything of his that was still there. And I left. Me and Frank moved to Pennsylvania, and Damien and Jackie stayed behind in North Carolina. And just like that, I had lost my firstborn, my home, almost everything I owned, and two people that I leaned on most were still hundreds of miles away from me. And all of that inside of a few months. And then Devin died. And whatever I had left just broke in those moments. Um, 4 months after that, I found out that my relationship of over 20 some years had ended in betrayal. And I wasn't just grieving anymore. I was starting over with nothing, literally nothing. Like I ended up in a homeless shelter. And that's just the beginning. Other betrayals came, people I trusted, relationships I thought were solid, just gone. And during that time, there was a moment, and I'm just going to be really transparent with y'all. There was a moment where I almost chose to not see tomorrow. I was done. It was just too much, and I didn't even care to see what came next. But I wrestled with that, and I thought about what did come next, not for me, but for the people who I loved. I thought about Damien, and I thought about Jackie, and what another phone call would do to them. Because Trey and Devin weren't just my loss. We were all carrying this together, and the people who loved me were already doing so much just to help me stay above water. I couldn't add to that. I couldn't make them carry something that big on top of everything else. So in that moment, I made a decision, and it wasn't a heroic one. It was just a decision that I was going to stay and I was going to try. And that's what I did. I simply showed up every day. I just did the best I could. Nobody asked me for more than that. And honestly, looking back, I don't think I had more than that to give. And it was enough, just showing up. And here's what 4 years of living like that in survival mode, just simply in survival mode, does to you. I operated at the highest level of stress. That became my baseline. Loss stops feeling like loss, and it just starts feeling like Tuesday. When something else happened, of course it did. The bottom always falls out eventually. Like when I got laid off from my job last year, Jackie was losing her mind about it. She was panicking, and I was just like, I'll find something else. Not because I was strong, but because by then I was numb. Because by that point, I had been bracing for impact. So when it came, it wasn't that big of a deal. I knew it was coming. And the part that nobody talks about with cumulative loss, it's not just the weight of everything you've lost. It's what that weight does to how you move through the world later. Because now that my life is actually stable, I have a job that I love and a home that feels safe and full of things that mean something to me. Damien is here with me, and things are actually pretty good. And I'm terrified. I'm scared because After living in survival mode for so long, stability doesn't feel safe anymore. It doesn't feel like relief, it feels like a setup. And my instinct, and I know that this part sounds so crazy, but my instinct is to start choosing what I'm willing to lose and self sabotage before the universe chooses for me. At least that way I'm in control of what happens next. And I'm not just dealing with whatever hand the universe chooses to give me. And that's what cumulative loss does. Well, that's what it did to me. It doesn't just take things away, it changes how I hold the things I still have. And I am just now starting to do the work to make sure that I don't burn it all down. Like every good thing that I've built, I don't want to lose it all again. And this is tile 2.